Sup fellas, I'm back, and today we're here to do another tier list for Destiny 2, but for Season of the Witch. If you've seen my other videos, you know the rule. They have to be season specific, so the character has to matter, so this means the Witness is not number one in every tier list. Anyway, nothing else to really add, so let's continue. Let's start with number 5, which is Savathun. Why is she here? Savathun is here on the list because it turns out she kept getting stronger after Witch Queen due to her power called Mbaru. Mbaru, for the average Destiny player, is opposite from the sword logic. In the sword logic, you have to prove yourself by fighting and killing in order to gain and sustain strength. Whereas say with Mbaru, Savathun simply has to trick you. You just have to make any kind of mistake, any kind of misassumption against her, it would give her power. Mbaru is the power that plays into Savathun's already existing nature. I'll have a video on Savathun in the future, but the point is, she's really overrated. Yes, she scales above Rolk now, but in Witch Queen she scaled below Rolk. Otherwise, that's all I have to say about her, so let's continue. At number 4 is the Guardian. Why? So, let's review. Calus is stronger than Savathun, and he's about as powerful as iamalesti was before Lightfall. Taking that into account, the Guardian had to be amped when they fought Calus, meaning the Guardian now, who is about as powerful as when they fought Calus, should be physically equal to Calus right now. I don't know why people use the 2016 and 2017 Destiny scaling metas, where we barely had Jack, and we had even less than that for Guardians. This is 2023, soon going to be on 2024. This is not the old days of Destiny 2 Curse of Osiris, where we have nothing, you Reddit fucking troglodytes. The only thing I have to say is I'm going to make a video on the Guardian in the future, because I have a very particular opponent for them in this day and age. Anyway, let's move on to number 3. At number 3 is Oryx the Taken King. Why? So in the season where nothing fucking happened, or Season of the Deep, that was the dungeon where Oryx just massively freaking exploded out of power creep tier. And to be honest, depending on how you scale him, he could solo this entire list. This depends if you give him the throne world scaling and take away the nerfs. After you account for all that, I decided to put Oryx somewhere around middle of the list, so that way it would be the least debatable position here. The only thing I have to say is there's not very much I can say about Oryx because the most we know about him is that he hasn't been power crept. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to number 2 on the list. At number 2 is iamalesti. Why? So, first off, before Lightfall she was already about equal to Calus when he was a disciple, and then in Season of the Deep she became way stronger, and in Season of the Witch only one character, debatably 2, could equal her. She's really busted. Her war hacks is where if you were to challenge her to combat or any means necessary, that would be war, that would make her stronger. So it's a very bad idea fighting her directly. That being said, I really fucking hate her. I don't think iamalesti was used very well in Lightfall. They had 3 attempts to make her good, once in Season of the Seraph, the second time in Season of the Deep, and the third time in Season of the Witch. But only in the last 2 times did they actually make her work. So yeah, I don't like iamalesti. Let's move on to number 1. At number 1 is Hive God of Vengeance Eris Morn. In Season of the Witch, she had 2 encounters and just 2 encounters. Luckily, that's all we need. Firstly, she one-shot Savathun as she was getting power throughout the entire season in order to challenge iamalesti. Second, in the same cutscene she killed Savathun, she one-shot iamalesti. So, she has about 5 minutes, and she's almighty, and no one can stop her. So this puts her somewhere right below Nezarec, but above everyone else. We're leaving out Season of the Wish intentionally because I'm going to make a tier list on that sometime in the future. And that's the tier list. To be honest, I should have made one for Season of the Deep, but nothing happened in that season, so oh well. Like, share, and subscribe if you're new. If we get to 2,000 subs, I'll make a video on Kratos vs. the Doomslayer, and it'll be dope as shit. Sub to the subreddit, join the TikTok if you haven't already, and drop a comment if you have anything to offer, and I'll add it to the list. I'll see y'all later. Peace.